Hello, my name is Asa Rose, and today I've got a good morning yin sequence that I would love to share with you. Welcome if you have found my page or my channel. A little bit about me. My name is Asa. I am a new yoga teacher, a stage hypnotist, and somebody who's just on a journey of self-discovery, of acceptance, and of growth. And if you found my page or my channel, I invite you to join along as I share what I'm learning, what I'm doing, and what I'm up to. If you're like me, perhaps you've only ever experienced yin in the afternoon or in the evening as a practice to kind of wind down, because yin is a slower practice, a practice that has you focus on your breath, using your breath to get deeper into postures. But really, yin is best practiced in the mornings for some. And today I've got this practice that will help move the energy in your body. If you are wanting to join along, the props that you will need: potentially a bolster, 2 blocks. I don't have a blanket, so I am using just a throw pillow. And I always love to have a little journal for after a practice, just to write down whatever I experienced, what I liked, what I didn't like, anything like that. So if you're ready to join me, let's start with a few arriving breaths on your mat. Coming to a nice, easy seat. I'm sat upon a bolster. Perhaps that is something that you would like as well. Before we begin, I want to tune in to the present moment. So, wherever you may find yourself, I want you to just take a deep breath in and out. And notice 3 things that you see, 3 things that you hear, and 3 things that you feel. Perfect. Go ahead and take another deep breath in through the nose, inside out your mouth. And notice 2 things that you see, 2 things that you hear, and 2 things that you feel. Fantastic. One more time, taking a nice cleansing deep breath in and letting it all go. As you notice 1 thing that you see, 1 thing that you hear, and 1 thing that you feel. You can allow yourself to take another deep breath in, and on your exhale, letting it out your mouth as you close your eyes. And just arrive here on your mat. Today's practice is meant to awaken the body and get energy moving. You can know and you can be certain that after this quick practice, anything that is waiting for you will still be there. So you can take this moment to let it go. A deep breath in and out. And if you have an intention for today's practice, anything other than energy, I invite you to call that forward in your mind's eye now. If you don't have your own intention, I would love to offer you the intention of energy and vibrance. In today's practice, as we get the energy flowing, I invite you to fully accept and experience whatever is meant for you. Knowing that in whatever pose that we find ourselves in, We must listen to our body, listen to what it needs, to what it wants. What is it calling for? Perhaps you bring your palms together right at heart center, Anjali Mudra. You can bow your head to your hands, fully setting that intention for today's practice. And take one final arriving breath in and out. You can slowly crack open your eye. Welcome to today's practice. Today, we're going to start in heart bench, or a variation of. So you'll need your 2 blocks. I'm going to take my first block on its highest setting at the end of my mat. I'm going to take my second block on its middle setting, kind of perpendicular to that first block, kind of lining up towards it. And what we're going to do is we are going to take our back to our blocks. We are going to use our hands to set that bottom block so that the bottom edge of that block is right about where your shoulder blades meet the back. And as you slowly lay your head back, you want this top block to kind of sit right at the base of your skull, tilting your chin just ever so slightly forward. Now, if you're here and your knees are up, pointed towards the sky, and this is enough sensation for you, I invite you to just walk your feet a little wide and allow the weight of your feet to kind of knock into each other for a supported rest here. If you want a little more, like me, perhaps you begin to straighten your legs, starting one at a time. Again, always listening to our bodies, and if at any point it gets a little too much for us, we can always come out of it. But I invite you to come back to your breath at any time and focus on your breath as you allow your body to just surrender to these poses. So if you are taking the feet out wide, start with your right, then your left leg all the way out. Just have your hands out by your side. Allow yourself to breathe as we open up the heart center, opening our hearts to everything that the world has to offer for us today. Becoming aware of our breath. With every breath in, perhaps we think, I am open. And with every exhale, to what the world has to offer. Inhale, I am open. Exhale, to what the world has to offer. And we'll be here. moving slowly. Your legs are stretched out long. Begin to bend one knee and then the other. Plant your hands right next to your hips, forearms on the ground. Take a moment, moving at your own best pace, leading with your heart. Begin to push up through your arms and hands to a nice, easy seat. And stay here for a moment, feeling what you feel in your body, noticing how your heart may feel as you take a moment to allow that energy to begin to move. Perfect. To a nice, easy seat on your mat. Perhaps you're somebody like me who likes to sit on a blanket or a pillow, whichever one you have, just to raise our hips up just a little bit. We'll begin by extending our right leg out to the side, keeping our left leg nice and bent right in front of us, as close to the pubic bone as possible. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a block, set it on its highest setting, outside of the knee, maybe over by the thigh or all the way down by the foot, on the inside of your leg, lifting up tall, then turning over towards our extended foot, beginning to walk down so that our head can reach the block. Perhaps you're like me and you need to. That is perfectly fine. You'll want to get into a position where your head can rest as you open up through that back body, through that extended leg, breathing into any sensation that you may be feeling. Breathing in, I am open. Breathing out to what the world has to offer. And allow your body to just surrender. Perhaps you feel yourself getting just a little bit deeper into this pose, to where you can take away that top block or lower the height setting. Slowly allow your hands to start to walk up and lift your chest. Perhaps bring your legs together Notice what you feel. Do the same thing on the other side. Extending out our left leg, bringing our right leg in, allowing our leg to just be. We're not flexing, we're not trying to fully extend, we're allowing gravity to take us. Taking our block outside of that left or extended knee. Perhaps you're like me and you need a second block on top. Perfectly fine. Lift up high, turn towards your foot, just extend over. Returning to your breath as you allow yourself to sink into whatever feels comfortable for you. Perhaps you sink a little lower on this side, or not. Know that that is perfect for you. Every side is a little bit different. Every body is a little bit different. If you're feeling it, you're doing it right. Allow yourself to surrender and focus on the breath. I am open to what the world has to offer. Breathing. The next pose may be difficult for some, so I will offer a variation. For our next pose, we are going to come... Where are we going? Look, I'm taking notes. As we set up for our next pose, you're going to want your 2 blocks right at the front of the mat. Starting in all fours, we will bring our right leg in between our blocks, walking that left leg out and back. What we're going to do is we are going to bring our blocks so that they are framing our front foot in a way that we can push our tailbone forward and down in this nice lunge. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Keep your chin low, your gaze neutral. as we find an opening through that left hip. Breathing in to any discomfort that you may feel, and with your exhale, sinking just a little bit further if your body invites you to. In, I am open. Out to what the world has to offer. Knowing that we can stay here or shift out of it if we need. Do your best to stay in this position. Let that energy flow. Return to your breath. Open. Stop. Moving slowly. Perhaps you begin to shift your weight back. Your hips and your sits bone back. Maybe you're straightening through your front leg until you arrive back on all four. And it might feel nice to push back into a child's pose for a moment. Letting that sensation do whatever it's going to do. Me back on all fours. And from here, what we will do is we will take that opposite foot in front, walking our hands onto those blocks, adjusting our back leg so that it is straight back behind us, and sinking into that hip, pushing forward, rolling our shoulders down and back, keeping our gaze neutral, and focusing on our breath. Breathing in and releasing out. And if it feels different on the side, if you need to go lower or higher, take whatever variation works best for you. But allow yourself, allow the energy centers in the hips to open up become alive. Doing great. Your body has invited you to think just a little bit deeper. This is your option to accept that invitation. Letting it go. Slowly begin to shift your weight back. Perhaps you're straightening through that front leg, sinking back through your hips and your sits bone, bringing that front leg back, and dropping back down into a child's pose. Even in these counter poses, can you feel the energy moving and flowing through your body? That's right. You're ready to move back in this tabletop position. Now, this next pose is the one that is not as accessible for as many people. Our next pose that we will be doing is either Sphinx or Seal. If you see this and you know that you cannot get into this or you can't hold it for a few minutes, the option that I have for you is taking your bolster, setting it right in the middle of your mat, taking a block in front of your bolster. You're going to lay your chest on your bolster, stretch your feet out wide, cross your arms in front of you, and lay your head on your block. If you want, you can take that seal or sphinx pose. But for me, this feels perfect. So today, this is where I'm at. Allow yourself to release and surrender in this pose. Breathing in to your lower back. If it feels good, you
can lift your back feet to intensify that stretching. Just bending at the knees, lifting up the feet, and allowing yourself to let go. Moving slowly. If your knees are bent with your feet up, perhaps you drop them down. Bringing your hands underneath you, begin to push up back into a nice, easy seat. Perhaps here we take another moment to scan our body and feel the energy realigning itself, beginning to flow, getting ready for the rest of our day. Perhaps you take a moment to reconnect with your intention, because we've got one final pose before final relaxation. And our last pose today is going to be a supported bridge. So, face forward on your mat, seated with your knees bent in front of you. You're going to take your block on its medium setting. Actually, I lied. Why don't we come to a lying down position with our knees up? Again, we'll just have this block right nearby. Bring those heels as close to your sit bones as possible. Ground through your heel and lift up your hips and set that block right on your sacrum lower back. There should not be any pinching or discomfort. And perhaps you bring your shoulder blades and fold them under so that they are completely flat on the ground, opening up through the chest. And if this is enough for you and you feel good here with your knees bent, that is perfect. If you want a little bit more sensation, a little bit more stretch, perhaps you start with bringing that right leg out straight and that left leg out to follow it. And this nice, beautiful supported bridge. I'm open to what the world has to offer to me. Allow yourself to fully and completely surrender to this position. Focusing on your legs are extended out long. Perhaps you bring your feet to the mat, bending those knees. When you're ready, pushing through those feet, removing that block from underneath you, and slowly lowering all the way down. Fantastic. Bringing giving yourself a little hug as you prepare for what the world has for you today. And we can extend our left leg out long and pull that right knee over and across our body. If you need that block to support your knee, or if you want to just allow that knee to fall, extending the right arm over as you turn your gaze over that right arm, wringing out any little bit of energy, any stagnantness that needs to be worked out. Turn. Give yourself another nice little hug. Thank yourself for showing up today as you extend that right leg now out long, allowing that left knee to come over and across. Left arm extends out in a T as your gaze looks over the left. Again, wringing out any last little bit, whatever is not so go about your day. Final relaxation. If you need any props underneath you, that is perfect. But perhaps you bring your shoulder blades underneath you completely, lying flat on the floor, so that there's that openness through your chest. Hands towards the sky, focusing on your breath here. Perhaps keeping your eyes open or allowing them to close. Reconnecting to the energy centers of your body. What are 3 things that you feel and notice? 3 things that you hear. set that in. But every breath out, you get out of your own way. You roll over to your left side using your left arm as a pillow, your right hand towards the earth on the ground. I want you to breathe in a breath of gratitude and exhale and thank Mother Earth. Thank her for holding you and allowing you to go about your day, today, tomorrow, and every day. Using that hand, perhaps you press yourself up to a nice, easy seat. Placing your hands, palms together, thumbs at heart center. Bow your head towards your heart. Thanking yourself for showing up today, for allowing yourself to have an amazing day, today, tomorrow, and every day. I want to thank you for joining me here on your mat. Thank you for following me on my journey. And I invite you to join me again whenever you feel called. The light within me humbly bows down to the light that I see within you. Thank you for joining me today. May you have a beautiful and amazing day.